Hello, I'm Jonah Guelzo. Throughout the last few years, I've had the privilege to meet and work alongside some incredibly talented creative minds, serving the film industry, both mainstream and independent alike. In this week's Rode highlight, I got to speak with Senior Digital Colorist Mark T. Osborne. From his start at Company 3 in Santa Monica as lead HD dailies colorist for Gore Verbinski, Michael Bay, and Jerry Bruckheimer, to now Senior Digital Colorist, having worked on films such as Need for Speed, and the theatrical hit, It Follows.
You awake? You're not going to believe me.
Osborne continues to hone his craft through the art of color, fulfilling that crucial final role and setting the tone and mood in each film.
My first job in the industry, I was about 19 years old. I talked my way into a job pushing a broom to start off for a company called Image Special Effects. And they did wire effects for most of the Fred Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I stayed in post. I started working at a video post house in Hollywood. Started off as a vault employee. That day, I just started doing the job well, gained the confidence of the people there at work, and it wasn't long that I moved up and out of that. Worked my way into being a tape operator. Learned what a colorist did. I didn't know that they colored commercials and music videos. I had no idea. Years later, I found out that I had a knack for it. I didn't know I did. A big colorist named Stefan Sonnenfeld, he saw me hanging some film and coloring it, and he said, "Mark, you've got an eye." He instantly put me with his clients. When I first got thrust into originally working with the director of the Pirates movies, he did a movie called The Weatherman. He did it right after Pirates. I was the lead HD dailies colorist on it. At the end of it, I came up to my bay, and I had a very expensive bottle of wine sitting there for me, and my boss had bought it for me, and I said, "What's the wine for?" And he says, "Gore is singing your praises around town." He said, "I think he's gonna want you to do Pirates 2 and 3 for him." Sure enough, a few days later, I saw Gore, and he goes, "Mark," he's like, "great job on Weatherman." He goes, "You're doing Pirates 2 and 3 for me, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so." So I was the first person in the world to see the Rushes from the Caribbean. We were doing like 90% final color in dailies, to where when they came in for the very final theatrical, they used my dailies as the template, and they would say, that was our look, and so that's what we need to make the theatrical look like. So once I started working for Gore, that was a Bruckheimer film. Jerry Bruckheimer liked me, and I started doing all the Jerry Bruckheimer movies. I did all the National Treasures and whatever they threw at me. When I started coloring, there was only a few of us in this business doing it. And these rooms were anywhere from $500,000 to about $1 million to set up. Over time, DaVinci ended up making the software free, and that changed the industry. It's great because it's teaching people how to learn how to do it, but still, it's not the gear. You still need to get a good artist to drive it. My role in any movie is I bring my eye to it to help make the DP and the director feel they're getting the best look with what's been shot. When I am brought on a movie, I always tell them, this is my movie now too. Every film breathes differently than any other film. There's not a one-size correction that fits every movie. It's awesome when I find that moment where, wow, this is how this film breathes and looks the best. This is the way I'm gonna do this movie. It psychologically helps tell the story. You can use color to hit the nail on the head, or you can use it ironically as contrast. To look at an image east to west, you wanna start seeing gradations of light and shadow, light and shadow. You never really want to see a flat, pretty much evenly lit image from left to right. That's why we, years ago, started doing more vignetting in coloring and telecine. There's too much light in that corner, but my subject's on the right side of the frame. So let's draw their eye over there. You know, your eye always goes to where it's the brightest. If it's all looking great, but it feels like the subject just needs that little boost, that's when I'll draw a shape around their face, as if they had that spotlight on set. Sometimes I'll just do an eye light that just hits the eyes, brings it up, so that it just draws you in. And it's those little things that make you go from 90% to 100%, like, wow, that image is the best it can be.